If you got into Bitcoin on August 2024, I'm telling you, this is as early. This is probably not only early, but it's probably also the safest point to bring real money into Bitcoin. $10, awesome. You bring in to a $30 price, you buy 3 Bitcoin, cool. And you cannot say that you were doing that at $3, $30, $300, or $3,000. In fact, you could not say you were doing that at $12,000. But at 62 in August of 2024, you're early. I've been early. I could have waited all this time to be here. The cool thing is I've got 4 years of knowledge now. See, I value the knowledge, and that wasn't going to come free. Not this kind of knowledge, man. It's deep, it's broad, it's got multiple angles. It's on finance, it's on banking, who's here, who's not here, who's coming here, who's been here for 10 years that nobody talked about. How many people does Citibank have, Goldman, Fidelity? Start Googling these questions, guys. How many people does Fidelity have working in their digital division? You will be shocked. Okay. There will be millions of people working in the digital asset industry in the next 2 years. Okay. Before Trump is out of office, we will have 3 million brand new jobs paying $250,000 a year or more. And they will not be serving the legacy world. They will literally be serving this new world. And you literally have the ability to go get a job in that space. I mean, by you, I mean the people I'm talking to, anyone. Whether it's going to get coffee, being a secretary, doing reporting, business development, sales, whatever, right? There's all these things that normally happen in businesses are going to also happen here.
I know that this might sound like a random question, but it's not. Can you tell me what you learned from the Bitcoin conference as far as the difference between information you learned in person there and information you've learned online? Like when you're talking about just sitting back over the past 4 years and kind of gathering intelligence, what was the big difference you think in the intel you learned from an in-person conference and being in those meeting rooms as opposed to what you've seen online? Or maybe there isn't one.
Well, you get a lot more details in person than you get online. I'm going to have
some of these people are hidden, right? So the in-person that helps you figure out who's hidden.
Yeah, well, look, dude, on some of my shows, I mean, if there's 1,000 people in the room, it's funny the stuff I look at, right? I don't really look at the 1,000 people in the room. I'm looking at the 100 people, 10% that choose to show up anonymous. Now, I show up anonymous sometimes just because I don't want somebody to call on me because I actually just want to sit there and listen. I don't want to be the topic. Like I actually value listening. And if I could walk into one of those rooms and not be known and just listen and not feel like I'm avoiding them from not coming to the stage, or if they invite me to the stage, I don't respond. Sometimes I just want to listen. When 10%, 100 people are anonymous, I'm like, okay, who are these people? Right? Okay, a couple of them maybe trying to learn how to be like me. That's awesome. But the rest of them, they're there because maybe they work for JP Morgan Chase and they don't want everybody to know they're listening. Now, having gone to this last Bitcoin thing, I can assure you that is happening, because people actually came up to me and said, hey, Gary, thank you, bro. Hey, what for, man? I don't know you. I've been listening to you for 6 months. Oh, who are you? Goldman. You're Sam at Goldman. Dude, why are you listening to my shit, dude? Like, huh? Oh, the whole team listens to it, dude. And then you run into a guy from Merrill. Oh, yeah, man, we're listening. That's why I get back to first question you asked me. Hey, what's really happening here? The most exciting thing is this stuff right here. Because we're tapping into something we don't understand. This is why I do it for free, man. I don't want any money. I don't want any money involved in this thing at all right now. I actually want to see what happens organically. Like I was a little nervous about doing this around Node 40 because it's not normal for somebody running a business that they would be vocal, especially with the kind of people I deal with. That's the other thing. I've been very impressed with nobody slamming Node 40 because of my views, right? And my views have nothing to do with the way we're going to run that company. I'm going to run the company just like I've run every other company. Good ethics, morals, take care of your client, don't over promote, always over deliver, and try to create a standard, and don't do anything that you wouldn't want anybody to do to you. People seem to be really empty right now, looking for some fill up. You know, they want something more in their life. Otherwise, they wouldn't listen to me. Because I never tell anybody, we're not charting prices, and I'm not telling you what to go buy. My message more is, hey, how do you live a really rich life? And that has nothing to do with making money. It's just a rich life, right? Like, where you're happy and you're doing something productive. So I think I'm seeing that in spades, that people are going to school, spending $350,000 and have no clue what they're doing. You know, really no clue. Or I interview people that come right out of college, and I'm like, you don't know anything. And the sad thing is, they think they do.
Sometimes they paid a lot of money for it.
Well, no, that's not my problem. I mean, it becomes my problem if they start then jumping around job to job to job to job. But it's amazing how little they don't know, dude. Now, this has always been true. Since I was 27, I was like, wow, why did you go to MBA school? You don't know any more than me. You can't make a phone call any faster or better than me, dude. Hey, we need to buy 10 million cubic feet a day. MBA doesn't have an advantage to it. Go buy 500 million cubic feet a day. Rock and roll. You got to do it at the right price. You got to know how to negotiate. Oh, you MBA, you didn't really spend another 30 minutes with that client having that dessert and getting to know about his wife. Maybe you could have picked up a couple extra 200 million cubic feet a day if you'd have been a human being instead of a freaking soldier of a spreadsheet. I'm actually excited, man. I see. See, this guy says Gary is selling freedom. I actually, it's dawned on me that no one knows what freedom is, dude. That is probably what I'm selling, actually. I've always wanted to be free, dude. This is why I've never gotten trapped in a career or by money, because freedom for me was always the most important thing. To be able to think and do and be the way I want to be without somebody, you know, harshly criticizing me or not letting me play the game. So yeah, freedom. Because I've been rich, dude. I've been very rich and very lonely, and that's not freedom. Not really. You know, I was making $7 million a year, and I couldn't get out of my job. Dude. I was like, oh my God, 300 people working for me. I got a great business with my ex-wife. I want to sell it. She's like, no, I want to do some more. You know, I couldn't get out of these businesses. And I'm like, no, I'm not getting imprisoned by anything, including money. So it's just been, I think it's a really important thing for people to remember. We rarely focus on how to be free. Most people focus on how to get to the country club.
I think it's interesting that most people think of money as a pathway to freedom, but it can also be a film prison.
Yeah. Yeah, I've known some really, really happy people that aren't rich. That doesn't make, I mean, look, I don't think there's anything wrong with money at all. But I'm not going to get trapped. You go talk to my brother, and like, it is all about the money for him. It's just a big metric for him. It's just never been my driver. And quite frankly, somebody said, I don't even know what happiness is. People go, hey, are you happy? Well, I don't know, man. I mean, what does that mean? Now, I do know what freedom and non-freedom means, but I don't really know what happy means. I've never chased the happiness either. I mean, I can wake up miserable. I just wake up that way. You know, like, fuck, I got to wake up. I mean, you've been around me long enough to know you wouldn't describe me as a happy man. Like it wouldn't be the first words that come out of you. Oh, Gary's a happy chappy.
I wouldn't describe you as miserable.
No, but you wouldn't use the happy. It's not like what word would you use? First thing that comes to your mind. I don't care.
Intense.
Yeah, I think intense is right. When I'm intense, dude, I am happy. Now the problem is it scares some people. Like I see some people sometimes I'm like, "Ooh, this guy's terrified of my energy," right? But when I believe in something, I don't know how I can't be intense, man. Like to me, it's like, whoa, this is unbelievable.